I got the ranch. We do synthetic biology work. The Black Hawk is starting to do some really cool and interesting things. It started with hurricane. By the way, thank you for that. You were the guy who said, "Hey, get your ass over to North Carolina," and we did. We sent the Black Hawk out there for
Immediately. You didn't, you just said I'm on it. Now
yeah,
I
yeah.
was impressed by that, dude.
Yeah, I said, let's fucking let's fucking figure this shit out. And so we sent the Black Hawk out there, and we ended up flying Don Jr. and a whole bunch of other people. It was a great experience, and it helped a lot of people. We moved generators and medical supplies and tons of stuff. But the medical facility, I think, is the family legacy. My dad's a doctor, brother's a doctor, grandfather's a doctor, was a doctor, he's dead now. Uncle's doctor. So, like, that's the family business, and when I first went to college, that's what I started studying, and then I said, "You know, I should be a mathematician," and I transferred from Metro to CU Boulder, the there was always a desire to do something in healthcare, and the reason why I didn't end up committing to healthcare was that healthcare system is horrendously broken. It's multi-trillion-dollar leviathan that gives no fucks at all about whether they actually cure you or heal you, and a lot
Right.
of fucks about how to extract as much value as possible from you. So what I wanted to do was, from first principles, build a clinic from scratch, make it the Mayo Clinic of Wyoming, best doctors, best equipment, and learn how to run a healthcare system in a way that's patient-centered as opposed to money-centered. The other thing I wanted to do was build a
Like Patch
biotechnology
Adams.
company with that, and that biotechnology company would actually look into next generation cures, not treatments. I was so angry with the pharmaceutical industry where everything is a copy of a copy of a copy, and everything's a treatment, and nothing fixes your problem. You go to the doctor, you say, "Doctor, my dick don't work right." "Well, take this pill, it'll kinda sorta maybe do that for you." "Can you just give me something to fix it?" "No, no, just take this pill." "My back hurts." "Well, we'll give you a back surgery. It's not actually gonna cure anything, but we'll just give it to you." You know, like, I got a lot of friends who are UFC fighters, and a lot of friends that are former special forces guys, like my security detail, SEAL Team 6, and we got, Green Berets and Rangers, and they're awesome people, and they're
Mhm.
damaged people because 'cause they've been blown up 50 times, and their joints are all fucked up, and they have a lot of problems, and they're some of the most disciplined people, but they need somebody to come in and help them out, you know, to fix the TBIs and fix the joint and back problems and there's other things. So I said, let's do a biotechnology company where we do stem cells and exosomes, and we worry about regenerative medicine, and let's use the clinic as kind of the clinical side where we actually do the clinical translation. Because everybody who does this stem cell stuff, they do it in a lab, and then they have no path to get FDA approval. They have no path to actually do the translational medicine and get that stuff done. So we've done that, you know, and so we have now 17,000 patients. It's growing by leaps and bounds. It's a 70,000 square foot facility. We have 40 providers. We've been in the community with Hoskinson Health now for several years. You can Google us and see how many great reviews we have. You know, people love it. It's the Mayo Clinic of Wyoming. And on the biotechnology side, we're getting ready for our first FDA trial with mesenchymal adipose-derived stem cells. So we take your fat. I got a lot of it. And when we extract it, we culture expand it, and then we compare it with hyperbarics, and we're going to do a phase 1/2 clinical trial, and then expand it phase 3 and go through the entire process. And we think we
I'll
can.
be part of your clinical trial. You just let me
Everybody
know.
wants to be, right?
Right.
Everybody wants to be. You know,
You're currently 51 years old, according to my labs recently. So I got shit to do.
you got to fit. Yeah, yeah. Same for me. I gotta clean this shit up. I mean, you know, but we know a lot of guys, and especially these older UFC guys or these older Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. Like Royce Gracie's a friend of mine, and his niece does security for us from time to time. And you know, he's like, "Hey, when you got something, man, you call me." You know,
Mhm.
he's like, "We need some of that magic juice." You know, they got the will, but the body sometimes doesn't add up to the will. So you call them up, you say like, "Hey, you want to be part of this clinical trial?" 100% yes. Everybody wants to do that. And what's really cool about mesenchymal stem cells is they're your stem cells. It's your repair mechanism. When you cut yourself, that's what fixes it. When you get injured like a broken bone, that's the kind of shit that fixes it. So there's no chance of rejection, and there's no gene therapies or any of these exotic weird things. It's not like iPSC where you're using Yamanaka factors to make pluripotent stem cells. It's a much more conservative approach, and it turns out when you pair it with the right things like exosomes or peptides or hyperbarics, you get the equivalent effect or better of umbilical cord blood or pluripotent stem cells or these other concerns that people have. So it's a slow burner. Everything in medicine takes a lot of time. It's a highly regulated field, but we've gone from nothing to 17,000 patients. And you asked a blockchain question, is there going to be a blockchain component? Of course. I'd like to do an open source EHR, electronic health record system, and I'd like to use principles from self-sovereign identity, so DIDs, and principles from the blockchain space to do that. So we have one project called Project Galen, currently internal, where we are having that discussion of an art of the possible of what can we do in the blockchain space. What's really cool is there's a lot of midnight applications for this because
Right.
you want to have private medical records, but you want to extract the semantical value for clinical trials and for patient patient value, like epidemiological information for public health, or any of these types of things. You really want to have that discussion about that. So to me, it's been just so much fun because I get to work with my dad and brother. They're both internists, and it's the only business I have with them. And I get to, I get to every day wake up and think about, like, how do we solve problems in healthcare? And what's really cool is when you solve problems for people, it's not like, hey, you made me some money. We did
Right.
that with Cardano. There's some of these Japanese people bought ADA 0.2 cents. They're doing okay. You know, it's like you solve my heart issue.